Sorry, I didn't see you there. Forgive me, I was just having I was cleaning my PlayStation 2. That's what I was doing. But on a real note, today we're talking about the top 10 PS2 games of all time. And before we get into this video, stay tuned to the end for me to list off some honorable mentions. If your favorite games aren't in this video, feel free to attack me in the comments. I get it. I know how I feel, how passionate I feel about PS2 games. So just let me know what you think, and if you agree with any of these, please leave it in the comments below. These are not the most selling PS2 games of all time. Actually, some of them might be, but this is my top 10 PS2 games of all time. Number 10, I gotta give it up to Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. This is a fantastic co-op game. This is a great game to sit down and play with your little cousin, your little brother, your dad, anybody. Man, this game is so much fun. It has so much Lord of the Rings lore in it. It's actually a good game based off a movie. And for these games, I'm gonna start reading off the back of the cover just to give you an idea with this gameplay. Live the movie, be the hero. Live the epic adventure. Play as 9 characters including Gandalf, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Sam, and Frodo. Battle through 15 highly interactive levels. Form your fellowship. Team up with a friend online. Fight side by side in multiplayer co-op mode. Defeat the forces of evil, the King of the Dead, the Witch King, Sauron's Lieutenant, and more. Movie exclusives, the only game with scenes and music from the films. Coming in at number 9, we got another great co-op game. One of the best co-op games, and you play as a vampire fighting evil. This is an action horror game. Great balance of action and horror. Number 9, Dark Watch. For centuries, the Dark Watch has protected the world from evil. Now, as Jericho Cross, you must join this secret society to save humanity and yourself. Death fears those who wear the badge. Powerful weapons, each with a unique secondary melee attack. Fire at enemies from horseback or armored vehicles. 2-player split-screen co-op. Dynamic enemy and NPC AI. Your decisions determine a path of good or evil. Dark Watch by Capcom. Coming in at number 8. Countless memories, me and my friends staying up late, just arguing in a good way, but like seeing who could yam on each other with Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson. If you couldn't guess yet, I mean this wasn't, I'm not talking about 2K, I'm not talking about NBA Live, I'm talking about NBA Street Volume 2. One of the best soundtracks on a video game ever. Just such a cool vibe. You feel cool while you're playing it, you know what I mean? It just brings so much character into a basketball game, and it's cartoony but realistic in all the ways it needs to be. There's bigger than life moves. Old school returns with NBA legends. Hook up for a 4-man showdown. Above the rim gameplay. Bring it on authentic urban courts. All new signature moves. Official PlayStation Magazine says, so far above and beyond the original, it'll shock you. NBA Street Volume 2. Coming in at number 7. Some people might have this at their number 1. Some people might have this at their number 1 for this game series. Ratchet & Clank, Up Your Arsenal. Such a plethora of guns, so many cool enemies. One of the best 3D platformers of all time, in my opinion, especially when it comes to PlayStation 2. Man, this game is so good. This is one of the biggest mascots for PlayStation in general. Ratchet & Clank are going online and they're ready to take on the universe. Blast away players through huge galactic battlefields as you discover new worlds to blow up. Jump into armored vehicles with a teammate or roar through thrilling single-player levels with all new powerful packed weapons. The outrageous intergalactic duo is back. PlayStation Magazine rated this a perfect 10, and I would too. This game is so freaking good, it's not even funny. These are words from my mouth now. This game is insane. I love this game. It did everything we love about the original Ratchet and Clank and just injected it with steroids. This game is freaking awesome. Coming in at number 6. For all my horror fans out there, this has been widely regarded as one of the, if not the scariest game of all time, the best horror game of all time. And boy, 20 something years later, this game still holds up. Coming in at number 6, Silent Hill 2. The silence is broken. James Sunderland's life is shattered when his young wife Mary suffers a tragic death. 3 years later, a mysterious letter from Mary beckoning him to return to their sanctuary of memories, the dark realm of Silent Hill. Now, James must go back to that special place to uncover the truth, unaware that the answer he speaks requires the ultimate sacrifice. Return to Silent Hill in an entirely new adventure with all new characters and monsters. Battle horrifying creatures with a new arsenal of weapons and items. Riveting storyline, stunning graphics, and true-to-life CG movies leave you on the edge of your seat. Atmospheric lighting and ambient 3D surround sound shift and change at each terrifying turn. Dynamic camera angles, beautifully rendered environments, and real-time weather effects deliver a cinematic horror experience that you will never forget. And boy, is it not lying. This game is freaking terrifying. And like I said, it's like over 20 years old. I think it came out in 2001, so 22 years old. This game's freaking crazy. I love this game. Me and my friends still play it today. I've played it with my brothers. This game is so good. And this is a game that you'll probably see on one of my future videos because I'm collecting all the Silent Hill games. But this is also a very valuable PS2 game. So coming in at number 6, Silent Hill 2. Not to hype this game up or anything, but this game is genre defining. It's genre making. It changed the way that survival horror games were made to this day. Like, it changed everything. Had to put it on my top 10 PS2 list. You could put it on GameCube list too. This game is so good. We got a fantastic remake of it this year. And if you still don't know what I'm talking about, coming in at number 5, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 brought back all the moments we loved from all the Resident Evils before that. It continued right after Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 3 came out, but if you know the Resident Evil storyline, this takes place right after Resident Evil 2. You play as Leon, and man, this is the first Resident Evil we got that over-the-shoulder, third person. It's no longer those overhead tank controls. The other Resident Evils are classics, and Silent Hill is that over-the-head tank controls too, but man, this game shook the world. This is on a lot of people's best video games of all time, period. It made IGN's top 100 games of all time. This is a fantastic game. The back of the cover reads, Resident Evil Reinvented. As U.S. Agent Leon Kennedy looks into the abduction of the president's daughter, his investigation leads to a mysterious location in Europe. Encountering unimaginable horrors, he must find out what is behind the terror. Experience the thrill a minute, Resident Evil 4. Now the smash hit award-winning game delivers exciting new gameplay and bonus features exclusive to the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system. New chapters play as Ada Wong in separate ways. 5 terrifying, adrenaline-pumping missions that reveal additional horrific surprises. New weapons, including the PRL-412 and the gunpowder bow gun. New unlockable costumes for Leon and Ashley. Supports progressive scan, 16:9 widescreen, and Adobe Pro Logic 2. Game Informer, at the time this game came out, it reads on the back of the game. This is what Game Informer said. Destined to be the greatest survival horror game of all time. And I couldn't agree with that more. This is such a phenomenal game. I had such a great time with the remake. If Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom hadn't came out, then I would still probably be playing Resident Evil 4 today. This game is just so great. It has so much replayability. And if you like survival horror games, this game is 100% for you. If you haven't played it yet, oh my gosh. I really don't know many people that haven't played this game because this is a fantastic game. It is so good. Could not recommend that enough. And it could honestly be higher on the list, but I'm giving that number 5 spot just because of what that has done for me on the PS2. Such a good game though. Oh my gosh. Coming in at number 4, and this game is the game that made me want a PlayStation 2. I remember seeing the previews for it. It came out in November 2005. I got a PlayStation 2 in December of 2005. Man, this game shook me. It sounds corny because of who made this game, but boy, Call of Duty 2, Big Red 1. And the Big Red 1 part is very important because there is a Call of Duty 2, but I'm talking about Call of Duty 2, Big Red 1. And this game, to me, is what really kick-started the Call of Duty franchise. The first one was taken so well. It changed online gaming forever. But man, this game, the story behind this game in World War II, oh my gosh, it is so good. I can't give this game enough praise. The bond of characters that you create, like this dude named Brooklyn who dies at the end. Oh my gosh, I was just like, I genuinely felt sad that this dude died. And the cast of characters that they built for this game, even though it's a freaking Call of Duty game, the story that this game tells, it still holds up today. The controls are a little because every time you aim down sights, you have to tap R1 and it holds you on sights. You don't just hold it and then it releases. You tap R1 to aim down sights and you'll stay aiming in, and then when you tap it again, you'll aim away. Boy, is this game so good. What the back of this game reads: play one of the most enduring legends in military history. That's what PlayStation World magazine said. Get to know your squad in some of World War II's most harrowing conflicts. Join the Big Red 1, America's most legendary infantry division, to experience the cinematic intensity and chaos of battle as never before on consoles. Experience a wide variety of land, sea, and air missions. Battle using vehicles including tanks, jeeps, armored cars, and half-tracks. Treyarch really did something with this game, and man, is it amazing. This game is so good. It is a Call of Duty game, but boy, it deserves to be this high up the list. This is such a good game. Check this game out. I know people's opinions on Call of Duty nowadays, whatever, and I'm with you, but this game is on some other stuff, for real. I don't want these games to be too cliche, but man, boy. This is another game that just was like, oh my gosh, I gotta have a PS2. This game, I think this game took the world by storm too. It's not the first one in the series, but it might be the best one in the series, and a lot of people that played this game might agree. Sly 2, Band of Thieves. This game is so freaking good, dude. The character, the way that, how cool Sly Cooper seems. Then Carmelita Fox, the little romanticism they got going on, the cop and robber, but they're like kind of love each other. And then it builds off the first game so well. I've got a platinum trophy for this game. I have a platinum trophy for the first game. Sly 2, Band of Thieves introduced pickpocketing, so you can go behind and like pickpocket enemies and get money out of their pockets, get gems out of their pockets, then sell them to upgrade Sly Cooper. And man, this game is so good, dude. Oh my gosh. Sly and the gang are back, and they're ready to pull off the biggest job of their lives yet. Journey around the world and beat the Claw Gang at their own game. Murray, the muscle. They call him the Murray. Bentley, the brains, and the demolitions expert. Sly, crafty, cool, and clever. He's the master of all thieves. Are you in or out? Dude, this game. I can't say enough about this game. This game has provided a lot of fun, memorable times for a lot of people's childhoods. If you were lucky enough to be born in the same era that I was, where the 6th generation of consoles was what you were playing, you're lucky, because man, this is such a good game. Sticking to these PlayStation bangers, coming in at the number 2 spot, easily could be my number 1. Jak 3. If you have not played the Jak and Daxter series, to this day you are doing yourself a disservice, because this game is so freaking good. Jak 1 is just one of those great PlayStation 3D platformers made by Naughty Dog. These are the same people that made Crash Bandicoot. Now they've made the Uncharted series. They've made The Last of Us. They just know how to make a great game. And this game took everything from the first and second game and just upped the ante even more. Even more. You have more variety of guns. You get to drive cars in the desert in this game. And then just the conversations that Jack and Daxter have with each other. Jack actually he did in the second one, but he talks in this game and he's just that bad dude who has a reckless attitude, but he means well, and oh my gosh, man. And Daxter's just so witty all the time with the one-liners, cracking jokes. If you already know this game, if you know this game, and it is fantastic. The back reads, the epic legacy concludes. Banished, left for dead, but this hero refused to be forgotten. Jack and his faithful companion Daxter are exiled to the unforgiving wasteland where survival of the fittest is the law of the land. But deadly lands and dangerous creatures are only the beginning. Soon the worst nightmare imaginable finds Jack's world, threatening to annihilate all life with eternal darkness. A darkness Jack knows only too well. Jack's exciting trilogy comes to a close, leading the last revelations about the mythical warrior Mar. Secrets to Jack's enigmatic past, and ultimately to the shocking revelation of who the precursors really are. This game is so good. This game is so good, and that's why it is number 2 on this list. Number 1, hopefully you can't see it over here, and if you do, then I might black out this corner over here. This game is the staple of PlayStation. This game is my favorite PlayStation 2 game of all time. I've talked highly enough about all of its sequels, even up to this day, even up to a couple years ago when the newest game came out. Man, this game's very similar to Jack and Daxter. A lot of comic mischief, a lot of snarky one-liners from both characters. If you don't know what I'm talking about. Coming in at number 1, Ratchet and Clank. I put the first game at number 1 just because this is what started it off, and this game is so good, still holds up to this day. This is a game that I have full intentions on platinuming. I platinumed Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which was the PS5 game that came out. This game, dude, jeez, is so good. The weapons you get to play as in this game, the missions you go on, all the other characters that are in this game. If you know another person that's played this game, then you could talk about this game for hours just because there's so many good and right things they did with this game. And to start off, for Insomniac to put themselves out there with this game, they really hit it out of the park. And if it says anything, Insomniac's the people that made the new Spider-Man games. I mean, they're straight up killing it right now, even to this day. And this really just shows them as a game developer. This is what the back reads. It's time to rip the galaxy a new one, which is a Easter egg to a gun in the game called the Rhino. You know what the Rhino is, you already know, and it means rip ya new one.
Rhino for your robot. Trade ya.
Well, okay.
Ratchet.
I'm kidding. Sorry, he's not for sale. What's a rhino anyway?
Rip ya a new one.
What did you just say to me?
R-Y-N-O. Rip ya a new one.
Why, that's the most powerful missile launcher in the galaxy.
So, it's time to rip the galaxy a new one. With over 36 weapons and gadgets to choose from, it's no wonder Ratchet and Clank have itchy trigger fingers. It's simple. Lots of enemies to shoot, lots of fun weapons and gadgets, and you get to blow shit up. Burn, bomb, blast, or obliterate your enemies. Oh yeah, go ahead. Blow it up. Blow it all up, because it ain't the size of your weapons that count. It's how many you have, and the better yet, how you use them. Man, this game is so good. And I mean, there's a reason that I have collected all of these games. I have plenty more PS2 games, but these are the ones that really stand out to me. Fantastic games, and I could not thank these games enough for what they've done for my gaming life, my childhood. These are essentially the games that made me the nerd I am over video games today. I could not suggest playing these enough. So if there's any of these games that you agree with, please leave a comment below. If there's any other game you would add to this list, leave a comment below. And I plan on doing this for a lot of other consoles, so some of the games that may be on the PS2, they may be in my top 10 Xbox list of all time, because Xbox has a lot of these games, but the preferred console to play them on was Xbox. So then you might see these games on that list. And before we go, I would just like to list off a couple honorable mentions for PS2 games that were just also fantastic games. Alright, some of these honorable mentions consist of 007 Nightfire. Oh my gosh, such a good game. I don't want to talk too long about the honorable mentions, but boy, 007 Nightfire. Shadow of Colossus. God of War 1 and 2. You already know that's what started it all, and those games still hold up today, and we're still getting new ones. Tony Hawk's Underground. Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Guitar Hero 1 and 2, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed Carbon, Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2, Spider-Man 2. The list really goes on so many good PlayStation 2 games, and that I don't even cover them all. But that's it for my list. Let me know what you all think. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a like on the video, please leave a comment, please subscribe to the channel for more upcoming content in the future. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, viewing, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next video.
To this day.